A lot of us have a few $100s to $1,000 to $2,000 or $3,000 worth of shit that we can use as money to save for our escape when you're planning your exit. This is huge. I hope this is a game changer. Hello brothers and sisters, it's good to be back. My name is Cameron. If you're new to the channel, I know the channel's been up and down through 2020 and a little bit of 2021, but today we're going to talk about some crazy, groundbreaking shit that I don't think anyone else is talking about. And we'll get into how to escape the Jehovah's Witnesses and financially thrive in a second. A few weeks ago, I did a survey on what y'all would like to see. 41% said more XJW content, obviously, great. Can't abandon my people and where I come from. 24% said mental health, dating and relationships. 22% said financially thriving after leaving the cult. And 13% said more personal vlogs. So we will be doing that going forward, but I thought it would be a great time to hit 2021 off with a bang. I wanted to share what I've learned. Last year was an incredibly tough year for me personally, but I learned some new skills that I'm excited to talk about. But as of last March, we had the shutdowns happening. I was stuck in one of the worst relationships I've ever been in my entire fucking life. Went through several job changes, almost became homeless, but thankfully I'm allergic to starving to death. Every week I get DMs, TikTok messages, Instagram messages, emails, comments on videos of kids and adults asking, how do I escape the Jehovah's Witnesses? Or basically just asking for tips on how to escape. Now keep in mind, I'm not a professional therapist. I am in no way, shape, or form a person to get the best life advice from. I'm just coming from experience of having to escape the Jehovah's Witnesses myself. Everyone's situation is different, so you're going to have to adjust accordingly. If you're living at home as a Mormon, a Jehovah's Witness, a Seventh-day Adventist, or you're stuck in Islam where they can label you as an apostate and destroy your reputation, you're in an abusive situation and you need to get the fuck out. So yes, moving on will be financially hard and you'll probably struggle, but your freedom is worth it. Link in bio to get yours. First, congratulations on waking up. We are extremely lucky and it shows a lot of resiliency on your part to wake up. If you don't have anyone and it's just you, it comes down to you being your own support system. This is going to be rough. This is going to be very tough, but it is worth it. If you do have other XJWs or PMOs that are also in, especially in the family, and you can get in contact with them, they will be your support system. Either way, you're still going to be slowly inching yourself on a way to get the fuck out. So before we get started, make sure to smash that like button and share this with someone. It helps out the YouTube algorithm. I'm trying to actually make, for the first time, more than $20 a year for fucking vlogging and putting my life on blast. It would really help out the YouTube algorithm and the video and my channel and me. So first up is head down, positivity in. If you're PMO, physically in, mentally out, the more hardcore your parents are about whatever cult-like religion it is, the less likely they're going to be open to you sharing the new thoughts, the new things you've learned on JW Facts, on these YouTube videos, on the XJW Reddit, whatever it is. So you're gonna have to fake it with the JDubs in the meantime. And if you can't take it, like pretend like you're sick or you lost your something, you're going to have to pump yourself full of positivity in the meantime. Living at home with a toxic person or a toxic relationship or a toxic family is miserable. Create Alias accounts if you already have it. You don't want to leave any trace of looking up outside of your religion's information at all. And then keep those passwords committed to your memory. Don't share them, memorize them. Once these Jehovah's Witnesses or whatever religion it is gets wind of you having second thoughts or doubts, they're gonna try to blackmail you and label you as a Satanist or some shit and make your life even more miserable. Clear your browser history. Third most important thing is get therapy as soon as possible. I am not a professional therapist. I'm not a professional psychologist. I have just been through it and have become obsessed with mental health because I've had to save myself. No one is going to save you. No one in this world owes you shit, so you have to save you. And by doing that, you're making the world a better place and everyone around you happier, especially when you leave. So get therapy where you can. If you're in school, you can get a counselor and get free therapy that way. Or take a class at a college if you're out and try to get therapy that way too. Free consultations, low-cost therapists. In my experience, a lot of ex-cult survivors can understand this. The best ones who are going to get you are the ones who specialize in religious trauma, but there's not a lot of those, and some of them are very expensive. So what you can do is try to look for someone, maybe a social worker, who has experience with abusive homes, because you right now are living in an abusive home situation, whether you realize it or not. Even if a lot of it is normalized, the abuse that you're going through needs to get out, not just internalized, but it needs to be vented, and you need to be given the proper tools on how to deal with those emotions, because what's happening to you isn't okay. The big reason why you want to do this is because once you start dating, if you aren't already, is you're going to subconsciously attract the same abusive people that you grew up with in your life to date. They're extremely manipulative, they will use you, and they will not think twice about it. And you don't want to have that continually over and over in your dating life. You don't want to be in abusive situations. My last relationship ended up turning into something extremely fucking crazy that I'm going to talk about on the YouTube channel eventually at some point. Of that was a light bulb. It was like, okay, I still have a lot of inner work to do because I attracted this person even though they hid and lied about a lot of things. And you don't deserve that. You deserve to work on yourself and have a happy dating and sex life after you leave the cult. Now here's the good stuff that nobody talks about except for here on this channel, which is why you should subscribe and hit that like button. Save money and make money. How the fuck do you do that? Like, everyone says that. Obviously, you should get a job if you're in school or college age, if you're, regardless if you're 16, 20, 25, 30, 35, however old you are, get a shitty job. There's a lot of shitty jobs that you can get out there. Even during the shutdowns, there's shitty jobs that you can get. You just have to do what you have to do. Obviously, be as careful as you can and get tested and maybe potentially get the vaccine if you feel comfortable with that. I'm kind of debating if I should or shouldn't. But the way you can cover this up is easy. Just tell them, hey, I'm interested in doing missionary work or RBC or LDC work, whatever, going to Bethel. So I need to save money for a used car. I need to save money for gas money to go out and service and pioneer if you aren't already. And I need to save money for my JW future. You're going to have to lie. So here's the logic. I know a lot of JWs are like, I don't want to lie even outside. Well, remember the concept of spiritual warfare, where the JWs teach that it's okay to lie to outside governments and police as long as it protects the inner members, because we have to protect our own, and that's what Jehovah would want us to do. Use that same logic, because it's super hypocritical, for yourself. You are saving and protecting your ass. Now, what I want you to do the next thing while you are doing whatever you're doing, depending on how active you are in the congregation, whether you're doing missionary work or door-to-door pioneering or auxiliary pioneering or whatever religion has those same terms where you're going out and preaching all the time, get on that list and say you want to do it more, or letter writing, whatever you can, because this will give you time to be isolated and have time to do the real work. I want you to sweep through your house, your apartment, your family's house, or wherever you're living, and take an inventory of your personal things that you own. For example, I have an older fucking Xbox right here that I play pretty regularly, but if it involves my freedom, I'm gonna sell that shit. Look that up on eBay. I'll bring it up right here so you can see it on the screen. What else do I have here? I have my old Xbox here, and you're going to type in that exact model in, color, gigabyte, collector's edition, whatever. This is a Gears of War Xbox One. It's got a terabyte on it, and then you're going to go to filters and make sure that sold and completed is switched on, and that will show you what the market is willing to pay for that item. Go through your whole house, books, video games, consoles, clothing, collectibles, shoes. A lot of us, especially in America, have a lot of useless shit that is very valuable in our houses. Anywhere from a few $100s, like this Xbox is selling anywhere from $300 to $400 brand new. That's a lot of money for something that I barely even use. A lot of us have a few $100s to $1,000 to $2,000 or $3,000 worth of shit just sitting in our homes that we can use as money to save for our escape when you're planning your exit. This is huge. I hope this is a game changer. You need to smash that like button, because I'm dropping some real facts and knowledge on you to help you, because I don't want any more of us to be held hostage. These are the keys to your fucking escape vehicle. Thank me later. While you're doing this, and while you're auxiliary pioneering or being a full-time pioneer and going out to whatever it is, it's a little challenge during Rona. You're gonna have to figure that out. Maybe some comments down below can help out. You're going to be making as many worldly friends as possible at school and at work at your new shitty part-time job. Feel the people out. It's gonna be a little difficult at first because we don't have a lot of self-awareness and self-esteem when we first get contact with the outside world, but feel people out and hang out with them on days that you're supposed to be preaching the good word. Several days per week where you can get out and get a taste of what worldly people are actually like. Because worldly people are fucked up, but they're not nearly as fucked up as JWs, because you have a whole nother like 6 layers of toxicity when you're in a cult. At the same time, secretly reach out with those Alias accounts to worldly family and see who can help you when you explain the situation. Meet up for them for coffee, for dinner, invite yourself and say like, hey, I'm in a really bad spot. Can you just at least listen, so that way someone's available. You never know who you might be able to move in with sooner. Back to the eBay thing. Do this repeatedly as much as possible. You can even go on Craigslist. I do this sometimes too if I want to make some extra cash. And you go under free stuff, and a lot of times there's huge loads of books. Books, if you get a huge shit ton of books, and if you sell them for $1 or $2 on Amazon or eBay, buyer pays for the shipping, and you have 100 books that you found in a day, that's $100. I'm gonna do more videos where I actually go out and show this to you very soon, especially if you guys, blast the comments and like buttons and share this around, because this message needs to get out. And while you're making money on those pioneering days, go out and do your research. Go look at apartments. Go hang out with your worldly friends. Go see your therapist. Pump that positivity, that outside therapist talk or podcast or whatever it is, to get your head wrapped around something positive and hardworking, because this is going to be the rest of your life. If you keep this up for the next 3 to 6 to 12 months, that's it. You're going to be out. And then please don't beat yourself up. Everyone's situation is different. Some cult parents are way more controlling than others, so if it takes you a little bit longer, that's cool. Don't beat yourself up. Everyone else is trying to plot for the end of the world, and you're plotting for your escape. The biggest cost for moving out is apartment and your car. So get a used shitty Honda car that everybody has, so the parts are cheap and you're not paying for something brand new, especially if you can't afford it. And look for a cheap ass apartment. You can't be picky and choosy here if you can't afford it. But if you have other PMOs that you can find that want to leave with you, like I had some messages earlier this week where a girl had woken up and her brother had woken up and one of her cousins had woken up, and they were secretly plotting, and they're all planning on moving into an apartment together. That's fucking genius. So cut down costs on rent. You can afford probably a nicer apartment, and you're with like-minded people who are also healing. So there's how you do it in a nutshell. There's a lot more ways to make money on Amazon, Target, Walmart, eBay, and I will be sharing those as we go along, because we don't have a college education. College is demonized in the Jehovah's Witnesses. Mormons is a different story, but anyone can do this. Anyone, even people who are already out. I've quit my job and I do it full time on Amazon, and I'm expanding into other areas like Target and Walmart pretty soon, and I'll be sharing that on how to thrive, because my passion was to be a filmmaker at a young age, and being a Jehovah's Witness, they were like, no, not unless you go to Bethel and do it for the audio visual team. So now I'm out and I'm financially struggling, but I'm able to provide for myself. Filmmaking is the next goal. It's just been crazy with Rona, and I'll be excited to take you along the journey as we figure it the fuck out. The next thing is disown your parents before they disown you. So what I mean is, if you don't have a healthier relationship with your JW parents and they're more strict, I recommend, and think about this to your own situation and apply it to you, I recommend sitting them down before you leave, maybe a couple of days or a couple of weeks, whatever is comfortable for your situation, and let them know you love them so much, but they aren't healthy for them to be around you. So you're leaving. And depending on if they get violent or not, you may just want to ghost them. If they're the type to get violent or beat your ass, send them a text message or make it a phone call, because I don't want you facing physical violence. And they can figure it the fuck out while you're gone. Chances are they're not going to come chase you down, and they're probably going to cut you off. But these aren't healthy people to be around, and it's get out of an abusive situation versus stay. Don't worry about the reputation that you have and how it could be ruined, and you're no longer a Jehovah's Witness, or basically being disfellowshipped by the Jehovah's Witnesses. It's not worth it to sit around and worry and beat yourself up about people who don't matter, who don't actually love you who for you are. They love the shell of what you are. Making friends from school, from work, and online is better for your mental health than staying with these people. Pro tip for having roommates: sit down and have a powwow before everyone moves in. Setting some ground rules, things you like and you don't like. Sharing dishes, is that okay or not? Bringing over dates, moving in someone else in. Those all need to be conversations that I have before you guys move in. Probably over a dinner. Those are group decisions, and if someone breaks something, who's paying for what? That's just a pro tip I've learned from having roommates, and how you'll go about like replacing and buying shit like that. It needs to be talked about ahead of time. Stuff like that you can Google. If any of that helps you out in any way, again, smash that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, share this with anyone needs to see it, regardless if they're Jehovah's Witness or Mormon or Scientologist or whatever it is. Share it. Everyone needs to see this, because it's an easy way to make money even during the lockdown. I'm going to be showing exactly how to do that even more. Also, would anyone be interested in purchasing this in like a PDF or maybe a book form? I'm thinking PDF, because any of the Alias accounts, you can hide a PDF in a Google Drive folder where the parents may not be aware of it, and it'd be an easy guide for them to go to and look at and read and reference while you're making your exit. If you'd be down to buy something like that, maybe we'll make it happen. Just leave a comment down below. In the meantime, if you are proud of your freedom as an XJW and your freedom is worth it, link in the description to go order yours. And as we go on and we talk about more things, I'm going to be expanding on the financial things that you can do to thrive after leaving the cult and live and take care of yourself, because you deserve to be able to afford good therapy in a nice little spot. Until next time, brothers and sisters. I'm getting texts. When someone's texting me right now. Until next time, brothers and sisters, I will see you in the next video.
She